You are going to listen to an interview about texting and walking. Listen and choose the correct answer. They're everywhere. People checking their email or sending off text messages as they walk down the street. Perhaps it is a sign of the times. In our busy world, everyone's trying to get two things done at once. But texting while walking is more dangerous than you think. Here to discuss the problems of texting and walking is Dr. Kren Bates, an emergency room doctor at North End Hospital. Dr. Bates, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Let's begin by hearing about the typical cases that you see.
All right. So you see a lot of broken bones as a result of people falling downstairs or walking into walls. Just a few days ago, I treated a 19-year-old girl who was texting and accidentally walked straight into a busy street. She was almost hit by a car. Luckily, she just fell and broke her foot.
Hopefully, she learned a lesson and will pay more attention when she's walking around.
I don't think so. She was texting even as she walked out of the emergency room.
Incredible. I understand that there have also been many more serious injuries as a result of texting and walking.
Oh yes. One man wasn't paying attention and walked off a subway platform and fell onto the train tracks. Fortunately, there weren't any trains coming, but the thought of what could have happened is frightening, isn't it? There have even been deaths from texting while walking. Like in Australia, a young man fell over the rail of a multi-story parking garage while texting a friend.
How awful. Do you have any statistics about how many injuries occur each year because of this?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, according to one study, 1,500 people were treated for texting and walking related injuries in the US in 2020. That is actually higher than the number of injuries from texting and driving. Those at the highest risk are the young people between the age of 21 and 25.
So, if texting and walking is dangerous, why is it that everywhere you look, you see people doing it? Dr. Bates, do you have any statistics on how many people text while walking?
Oh, yes. There was a recent study that followed people who were crossing the street at 20 different intersections in Seattle, Washington in US. 1 out of every 3 people was using their cell phone in some way while crossing the street, whether it was for texting, walking, or listening to music. Texters took 18% longer to cross the street compared to people who weren't distracted by their phones. And they were 4 times more likely to walk without looking both ways or to ignore traffic signals. That is why we are seeing a lot of patients in the hospital these days.
So, what do you think can be done to reduce the number of these accidents?
Well, the most obvious solution is not to walk and text at the same time, I think. Just put away your phone and take it out when you get to your destination. But since not everyone is willing or able to do that, the next best thing is to stop walking and move off to the side, far from the road, when you're texting. In that way, you won't endanger yourself and you won't inconvenience anyone either.
My sources tell me there have been some attempts to prohibit texting and walking. In the US, I gather that some cities will even give you a ticket for it. Do you think that this is effective?
Unfortunately, not really. These rules would be very hard to enforce because so many people text and walk. You would have to give tickets to practically everyone on the street. No city has such a large police force.
I heard there's a new app that changes your cell phone into a camera with a transparent keyboard so you can actually watch where you're going while you're busy texting. Do you think that could prevent some accidents?
I haven't seen the apps, but I'm not sure it would work. The whole problem is that your brain can only focus on one thing. In the case of texting and walking, it is either the text message or the world around you. Even if the picture of the outside world is right there on the screen, you are paying attention to the text message. You might not notice anything else.
Dr. Bates, You've given us a lot to think about.
Mhm.
Hopefully, we will all be a little more careful after this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but we've come to the end of our show. You have been listening to Dr. Karen Bates, emergency room doctor at North End Hospital. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.